Welcome to the Two Geeks and a Microphone podcast, your one-stop shop for television, movie, video games, comic books, book reviews, and more. Now, without further ado, here's Steven and Mike.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Two Geeks and a Microphone show. I am your co-host, Mr. Steven Boster, along with the illustrious, the one, the only, Mr. Michael Shanks. Mike, say hey to everybody.
Good morning to all you geeks out there in Geekdom Land.
Well, Shazam! I am so excited about today because we are talking about that Black Adam trailer that got released this week. Pretty excited about it. And what's funny is we're also going to be talking about the Justice Society animated film. Sorry, the animated film Justice Society World War II. And Mike said, I really want to talk about this movie. Yes. And I think unbeknownst to Mike, there is a connection between the Black Adam trailer and the Justice Society animated film. And we're just going to have a great time talking about it today.
Well, you know, the funny thing is I knew some of the characters that were going to be in Black Adam, but it just didn't connect when we discussed talking about Justice Society and then talking about Black Adam trailer also. And it wasn't until you mentioned it to me, I was like, hey, did you plan this? No, actually I didn't. So but it's a great connection. It works really well. So
I think your subconscious was planned. So
that's possible. You know, the Geekdar was working.
The Geekdar. Oh my gosh, the Geek.
It was kind of like my geek tingling, spidey sense
happening. I love it. Yes. Well, it was funny, everybody, we had already planned on talking about the Black Adam trailer. We kind of mentioned it when we were doing our live show on Kenobi, episode 4 review. And so then I had on my Google feed on my phone kind of news and it how those things always do what you're interested in and stuff. I'm like, oh, look, here's some new posters for the new Black Adam trailer. I'm like, oh, take a look at those. And there was 4 different ones and they're showing off the characters and each one said Black Adam, Justice Society, then the character name. And I'm like, Justice Society? Well, we're talking about the Justice Society movie this morning. I'm like, what? So it is confirmed that it will be the Justice Society that he's dealing with or interacting with in the Black Adam movie. We kind of knew, but I think it's just confirmed that.
So do you think that we can officially say this is a backdoor premiere for the Justice Society in the DCU? Mm-hmm. I personally hope so. I would love to see a Justice Society movie. Mm-hmm. Give me Doctor Strange, give me Hawkman, give me...
You mean Dr. Fate?
Oh, did I say Doctor Strange? Yes.
You did. That's okay.
Oh, dang it. Across the stream there. Be careful crossing the streams.
That's right.
Give me all those characters. Give me Power Girl. Give me the Jay Garrick Flash. Oh my gosh. That makes me so excited for the potential of what this could become. Mm-hmm. Do it and do it right. As the Emperor says, do it.
I will say that if you got Pierce Brosnan coming in as Dr. Fate, that's not a one-time event.
That's true.
I bet you they've got him for several movies, kind of a thing. So
let's talk about the trailer.
Let's do this.
First of all, Dwayne Johnson in the Black Adam suit looks freaking amazing.
Yep.
I just gotta say, he is awesome looking. I can't wait for this film. This is incredible.
I think he looks fantastic. I mean, just right out of the comics. I really enjoy how, the big lightning bolt on there. I don't know if you noticed, but in the trailer, it's really darkened and covered up, which makes me think there'll be this big moment where it really lights up.
Yeah. I'm sure it will. I mean, the Shazam one lights up, so
yeah,
it's got to light up too. I mean,
yeah.
And then, like you said, we get introduced to Dr. Fate in the trailer. We get introduced to
Hawkman,
which Hawkman looks freaking awesome. By the way,
fabulous. Yeah,
and they show him with his wing spread. Oh my gosh, what a great shot!
Yeah. So to take from Jurassic Park, because the Jurassic Park movie's out, to take from the original, they spared no expense.
Good one. I like that. Yeah, I don't think they did spare any expense.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. So yeah, Dr. Fate, Hawkman. Who was the other? Oh, we're getting Atom Smasher.
Yeah.
A lesser known character.
Mm-hmm.
He's very similar to Ant-Man because he can shrink and he can grow.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually that evolves into Atom from the Justice League, and Atom just shrinks. I don't think Atom can grow, but Atom Smasher can do either one.
Either one.
He's a little more similar to Ant-Man.
Okay, so we've got like Marvel Doctor Strange. Does it parallel Dr. Fate?
I don't know. I mean,
okay.
Dr. Fate does come from Egyptian gods. I have a hard time trying to parallel those two. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. I really don't know.
It just seems like we've got some parallels happening, and because I shouldn't say parallels. How should I say that?
Yeah, because
DC and Marvel, we've had this discussion. They copy each other all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Because you were talking about Atom Smasher being similar to Ant-Man, and I'm like, oh, okay,
yeah. Oh, are we gonna have a Marvel DC crossover with Dr. Strange and Dr. Fate? Oh, I'd go see that. Make it happen.
Right.
As Captain Picard would say, make it so.
Make it so.
I don't see Marvel and DC movie industries coming together and doing that, though. But that would be pretty freaking incredible.
If we had like a Civil War. Like Civil War, you had all the heroes side by, you got Marvel on one side, DC on the other side, and that would be cool. Good morning, Brian.
Morning, Brian. Well, see, I don't know if we had Fate and Strange together. I almost want them to team up. Actually, I think that'd be pretty freaking amazing.
Right?
If we had those two magical characters, both, that would be awesome. So,
Yep. Hey, so do you have your DC encyclopedia nearby? The DK thing?
Of course, I sure do.
Of course, I may have some questions for you because I really want to talk about some of these characters in this trailer, because this trailer was fantabulous.
Just give me some warning who you want to talk about so I can look it up.
Oh yeah, sorry. So we'll do this. Well, let's. So obviously we got Black Adam. We see Black Adam in here. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Sorry, I don't know. Do we still say The Rock?
You can call him The Rock. Everyone knows he's The Rock. I mean, I think he's still wrestling too. I think off and on. I don't think he's as active as he used to be. If there's somebody out there who's a current wrestling fan, because I'm not, but I think he's still involved because they don't want to get rid of his name. He brings a lot of money to the WWE, so yeah. I think it's safe to call him The Rock.
Okay.
I think his movie name though is now Dwayne Johnson. I think he primarily goes by his movie name now,
Dwayne Johnson,
which is his legal name.
Mm-hmm. Well, in this trailer, he looks fabulous. So I just want to start with the main character first and what we get out of the trailer. Total anti-hero. And when we were reviewing it, or going back through the trailer a little bit, one of my favorite lines is the same. I think one of the same lines that you really enjoy in this trailer, and it's where Hawkman was saying, in this world there's villains and heroes, and then he's like, heroes don't kill people.
But I do.
Yeah. I was like, oh, it took me back to kind of like Marvel Deadpool, where, you know, Deadpool's that whole anti-hero kind of a thing. And so do you think that's really kind of what we're getting out of this?
You know, that's a great question. I don't know where they're going with this film. And the only reason I say that is because obviously this film's leading back into the Shazam family, the Shazamly. And we're getting part 2 of Shazam, January, I think early next year, which got pushed back, by the way, because that was supposed to come out this year too.
Oh.
Anyway, and you know, Shazam's a little more comical. You know, there's a lot of more comedy based in that, and this film looks dark. It looks super dark.
It does look super dark.
So how do you and you know, Black Adam is a natural enemy of Shazam. He is the enemy. You know, he is Superman's Lex Luthor is what he is.
Okay.
You know, so how do you bring him into a movie that's primarily comical based? You know, I'm not sure how they're going to do this, and I find that fascinating. But we know it's going to happen. So. Yeah.
December.
Oh, is it December?
Yeah, it's December 21st.
Oh, nice.
For what?
For Shazam.
Oh, okay. So it's October 22nd for Black Adam. We got that from the trailer. So then it's December. So it's the Christmas season, Christmas movie.
And I'm sure we'll get some kind of lead in at the end of Shazam for Shazam 3 where Black Adam's will come.
Oh, yeah. Would that be awesome?
What's that, man?
I'm getting mixed because there's a lot that says December 21st, and there's a couple that say June 2nd of next year.
See, I think it's
confused.
June 2nd. I think December 21st was the original planned date.
Like 16th was.
Okay. I think
Shazam, Fury of the Gods.
I think this year was the planned date for it, and I think it got pushed back due to COVID stuff and blah 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 blah. You know.
Hey, I just want to let everybody know, if you decide to look up Shazam on Google, you're first going to get Shazam music software.
Well, hopefully after Black Adam, that'll change on your search engine. Because I got a feeling there'll be a lot of, people searching Shazam and the connection.
Yeah, Shazam 2, Shazam, Fury of the Gods. Right now, it's saying release date December 16th, 2022.
Okay, well, maybe it is this year. I don't know. We'll find out in the next couple months, I'm sure.
Right.
I would love it if we get that right after Black Adam. That would be great, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to Shazam 2. I liked the first one. I thought it was really good.
It was good.
Fun movie.
Zachary Levi did a fabulous job.
He did
fabulous job.
And the kid that plays is it? Wait a minute. I don't know. The kid that plays opposite of him, he did great too. You've got bullet immunity.
Right? The character, the actor, I think, is Jack Dylan Grazer, Freddie.
His brother, or?
Yeah, I think that was his brother. Because his alter is Billy Baxton. But I think that's
Batson. Billy Batson.
Yeah, I get that messed up all the time. I want to call him Baxton. I think they should just change his name to Baxton.
Ooh, yeah.
Freddie. Okay. Angie's
right on.
I didn't acknowledge her over here in the chat, so she sent me a private chat.
Oh, sorry. Well played, Angie. Well played.
Thank you, Angie. But yeah, I really like this trailer for Black Adam. I think it looks incredible. Oh my gosh. And we're getting another Justice Society character that I actually didn't know about, so we should probably talk about her. Cyclone.
Cyclone.
This is my introduction to Cyclone. I had no idea of this character. And I looked her up in the encyclopedia before we started the show, and apparently her character began in 2007, so she's a fairly new character actually.
Mhm.
But she's derivative from the Red Tornado character, which I know of Red Tornado, but I don't
Okay.
think Red Tornado was our part of the Justice Society, at least not that I remember. And Justice Society goes way back, so I don't know. He could have.
Mhm.
It doesn't, it doesn't really matter. So it'll be interesting to see her, and she's got like the tornado powers that Red Tornado has.
Mhm. Mhm.
I think it'd be a little more interesting to see Red Tornado, but yeah, it's fine. It'll be cool. It'll be cool.
Mhm. Mhm. So I got to ask you this though. I want to talk about Dr. Fate. I love me some Pierce Brosnan. So I think he's great.
You're
I've
a
seen
Bond fan.
I am a Bond fan, but he was also in the first Percy Jackson film and did a fabulous job. He did it because I think one of his sons told him he should be in it, the film, but he wasn't in the second one, Sea of Monsters. Then, but I thought he was really good in that. But I'm really excited to see him as Dr. Fate. So who is Dr. Fate? Because
Did you see Angie's comment here? She says, "I know all the Black Adam characters because of playing Dice Masters."
nice.
Nice. I didn't know Dice Masters was a DC based thing. I might have to look into that.
So who is Dr. Fate? My first introduction to Dr. Fate was when we watched that Constantine film, City of Demons.
Okay.
And that was my first introduction to Dr. Fate. Then, he's pulling out in the DC Encyclopedia book, everybody. So I got to talk for a few minutes so he can figure that out and stuff. So in there, we got introduced to Dr. Fate, because I guess he was inside his house. If I remember,
The helmet was in
the helmet was, yeah. And then we get to see, we're going to talk about the Justice Society movie here in just a little bit and discuss his role in that. And because of his role in that, or kind of what happens there, is really unique. Then seeing him in this trailer, I was like, oh, we've got to talk about who is Dr. Fate. Because I think one of the things you said is that helmet, it's not necessarily, he's got all these powers, but it's not kind of like, oh, he's got these powers, woo, woo, woo. But the powers are more of a curse than they are
right. And
a blessing.
He kind of talks about that in the trailer because he starts asking Black Adam, what have your powers brought you? Because it seems like they've only brought you trouble. Mm-hmm. And he goes, and he says something to the effect of, I know how that is.
Mm-hmm.
And he does, because, he puts on the helmet, and they say anyone that puts a Dr. Fate helmet on goes insane. That's what they claim. Oh. So Dr. Fate appeared in More Fun comic books number 55 in 1940. Convergence, Aquaman number 2 in July of 2015. His real name is, oh Lord have mercy, Khalid Nasor. I have no idea if I said that right.
Okay.
Base of operations is Tower of Fate in Salem, Massachusetts. Interesting.
In
case you're interested, his height is 5'5". He's not that tall.
Sure.
120 pounds. Sounds like a small guy. Brown eyes, black hair. Abilities: Helmet of Fate bestows powers of light and healing ability to channel and redirect wind, fire, water, earth, and lightning. Other magical abilities include phasing through walls. Cool. Allies is Kent Nelson. Enemies is Anubis, Naboo, Upside Down Man. Upside Down Man. I don't know that one. And affiliation is Justice League Dark.
Right on. Okay.
He's also been in the Justice Society too. So
gotcha.
By the way, Pierce Brosnan was played Chiron in Percy Jackson.
Yes.
Okay. Did you want to know anything more?
part of it is so the helmet is what gives him his powers. Then is what we're saying.
Correct.
And then people who wear the helmet end up going crazy after a little while.
Okay, so here's the write-up on it.
Okay.
Down the millennia, the gods of Egypt have chosen brave champions to wear Naboo's golden helmet and accept the sacred duty of protecting the world as Dr. Fate. So many different people have been Dr. Fate. In fact, I know there's a female Dr. Fate out there too. When Khalid Nasor was chosen, his world changed forever. He discovered that he now possessed the incredible element controlling powers and soon found himself a member of the Justice League Dark. At the dawn of man, a group of sorcerers called the Lords of Order discovered magic so powerful their bodies could not contain. So they bound themselves to objects. One of those kings was named Naboo, and the object to which he bound himself was the Helmet of Fate. Over the years, the Helmet of Fate has found different hosts, most notably Kent Nelson, who served valiantly with the mystery men of the 1940s known as the Justice Society of America.
Aha.
As Kent grew older, the helmet found Egyptian-American med student, Brooklyn resident Khalid Nasor. Khalid became Dr. Fate for a brief time. So Khalid is the current Dr. Fate in the comic books then.
That means the Justice Society one that we saw,
Yes.
that was Kent.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
That makes sense. That makes sense now. Okay.
Right. Let's see. Khalid became Dr. Fate for a brief time, but realized he had much to learn. To that end, he began to study under his great uncle, Kent Nelson. So his uncle is Kent Nelson. Interesting.
Okay.
At the Tower of Fate in Salem, Massachusetts. However, when the mysterious source wall at the edge of the universe was pierced and the very laws of magic began to change, Naboo decided to put an end to magic. He took control of Kent Nelson's form, and the helmet locked Khalid in a piece of ancient pottery and opened a portal, allowing the so-called other kind into the world. Naboo's goal was to destroy the source of all magic, the realm called the Sphere of Gods. This plan would kill all magical beings, but would also put an end to the threat of other kind, so would thereby ensure the multiverse's survival. Luckily, the Justice League Dark discovered Naboo's horrific plan, and Man-Bat, wow, even Man-Bat's involved in this, accidentally freed Khalid from his magical prison. As Naboo teamed with other Lords of Order, the Justice League Dark embraced dark magic and temporarily became the new Lords of Chaos in order to end Naboo's threat. Later, when the Justice League Dark was locked in battle, with which Cersei in Justice League Dark, I don't know that. Khalid joined forces with Naboo and donned the Helmet of Fate once more. Khalid became Dr. Fate, a trusted member of Justice League Dark. Together, they embarked on a quest to stop the other kind and their leader and terrifying Upside Down Man. So, that's the entry on Dr. Fate.
Wow. There's a whole mythos behind Dr. Fate.
Oh,
holy guacamole, Batman.
Yeah, he's supposed to be pretty powerful. He's supposed to be one of the most powerful characters in the DCU. So we'll see.
Very cool. Very cool.
I'm excited about him. I like Dr. Fate. I think he's an interesting character.
Yeah, I'm interested to see it. I want to see this movie.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so it looks like they're doing great with it. I didn't go back to see the old trailer. I should have done that because that had some extra scenes on it of him sort of being freed and that kind of a thing. But either way, we got the introduction to the new characters, which was really good. Seeing Hawkman was awesome with the wings and all that. Like we said, spared no expense on digital.
We don't get a great look at Dr. Fate because they kind of
it looks like he's in the mirror world.
Yeah, right.
The Mirrorverse.
Yeah, it sure does. It does kind of. I think I still think I put him up closer to Moon Knight, but I think he's more powerful than Moon Knight. You know, because Moon Knight's tied in with the Egyptian gods too. So.
That's true. That's true. Good point.
But I think Dr. Fate kick Moon Knight's butt.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as he's got the helmet. If he ain't got the helmet, Moon Knight,
all bets are off.
Right. Gotta go fair here. So
right.
That's confused about Dr. Fate and his powers.
Don't worry, so am I.
So is Dr. Fate, do they decide the fate of others? I'm confused. I don't know. I guess we're going to learn more about Fate.
I'm hoping we learn more about Fate in the movie, but we do have to remember the movie is called Black Adam. It's not called Dr. Fate. So
right.
I don't know how much information we're going to get about him. He may just get introduced and then we see his powers and then, you know, that's it. So
yeah. Do you think he'll be kind of like I don't want to say mentor character, but you know, there's always that sage character that kind of helps guide in this case would be help guide the anti-hero.
Right. It kind of feels that way. I mean, you know, just by his dialogue in the trailer, it almost feels that way. So yeah, I think you're kind of right. I think he is kind of Black Adam's. Yeah. Other than that, I don't know. I have no clue. I don't know a lot about this movie going in other than what we've seen in the trailers and the fact that Dwayne Johnson has been selling it to us for the last decade.
Yeah. That's so true.
I mean, he was signed on to play Black Adam 10 years ago, man. It's taken long to get this movie off its feet.
This really has been his project, though. He's the one who's been wanting to do this.
Oh, yeah. And I'm glad he did because I think it looks incredible.
Well, one thing that I'm excited about that you mentioned was it looks like he is full force Black Adam. You know what I mean? None of this growing into his powers. He's already been there, done that. We got a little bit of his backstory kind of a thing already in the trailer, which I appreciate. But it looks like he is already powered up.
Well,
we got his backstory in
Shazam. Yeah, I was going to say that. In Shazam, we got his backstory too. So,
right.
Just go back, watch Shazam, so you get the background of Black Adam, and then come into this movie because we don't need a whole lot.
We really don't.
I mean, they're gonna fill some blanks up, but his initial background story is in Shazam. Sorry.
No, that's okay. It looks like he'll team up with Justice Society, but for the purpose of some other big baddie. But I did like how Dr. Fate had said, you could either be the savior of this world or the destroyer of it.
I'm looking at this. It is going to be a true comic book movie. That's the way I look at it because we've seen comic books where the bad guy comes in and helps the good team or the good guy, and he usually has reasons for helping them. There's usually a nefarious reason that he's helping them. And I'm kind of wondering if that's what we're seeing here. And then that's where we will get the crossover with Black Adam and Shazam. So
maybe that's interesting. Huh. Yeah. It kind of reminded me of in Doctor Strange, the character of Mordo. So in the first film where he was, he's like, I will walk this path no longer, and he actually becomes a major villain in the Doctor Strange universe. And I mean, in the multiverse thing, we get inklings of it, but we don't really get a full blown Mordo attack kind of a thing, full blown evil.
What is the meme? You live long enough to become a hero or
it was.
Oh man,
it was in Batman. They mentioned it in Batman. I can't remember which. It was one of the Christopher Nolan ones, and it was the Dark Knight where you live long enough to become the villain or see yourself become the villain kind of a thing. And I thought that was a nice foreshadow to Two-Face.
You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the
villain.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yep.
And maybe that's what we're seeing here. He if he doesn't die in this, he'll be the hero, but if he doesn't die, then he lives long enough to become the villain. So
yeah, what's interesting about, I think, for both of these characters, like for Mordo and for Black Adam, it's the sense that they do have a moral code. They do have a strong belief system. And so then what happens is because of circumstances or the world around them, they hold to that moral code, but that moral code goes against what some people would consider a good code, if that makes sense. Like, they have this strong moral code, but they stick to it. And that nature within them is like, look, you just, like Mordo, you just broke the, my brain went to, you broke the laws of physics, Captain, yeah. So I think, there was you broke the law of the natural order. You cheated. I'm not going to follow this path any longer. You're using evil to do good. And so they're like, drawing upon the dark universe, I think is what it was, or, whatever, to do good. He's like, I'm not going to follow this path anymore. I think it's the same thing we're going to see with Black Adam in this, based upon his origin is, he loses his son. And I loved how he said, I bow to no one.
Yeah.
I became a god and I bow to no one.
That was a good line too. Yes.
Yeah. He has his own code and it is for a reason. So I do think that will make for good anti-hero characters.
Okay. Now, I know we gotta move on to Justice Society soon.
Oh yeah, we do need to move on to that.
But
yes.
I do want to ask you one question.
Yeah, sure.
Because this character seems to go against everything you believe. Because you're always I want my good guys to be the good guys. I want my bad guys.
My bad guys to be bad. Yeah.
And there is no clear, whether he's good or whether he's bad. It's not clear at all.
No, I disagree. Just like you said, where they say heroes don't kill people. That's a great line.
Okay.
That's a great line in here. And he goes, well, I do. And I'm like, well, you're anti-hero villain. I don't care, but I just I'm up for a good movie though.
But you just said it. You're an
anti-hero.
But that makes him, I don't know.
It's almost like they've got this gray area. You got good on one side, bad on the other, and then you got this anti-hero who's doing good stuff. What would that be in D&D?
Yes,
that's
chaotic anti-hero who's doing good stuff, and he is not he's not your bad guy, but he's not your good guy. And you keep saying, I want my good guys to be my good guys, I want my bad guys to be my bad guys. Certain times I agree with that, but there are times where Angie's got it, chaotic neutral.
Oh, okay.
The D&D term for that.
Okay.
But there are certain times when I want a chaotic neutral character. I look at Venom that way. I look at Spawn that way, and they're both favorite characters of mine. So anyway, I was just curious. So we really should move on to Justice Society. I am super excited about Black Adam, and we will definitely be covering it in October.
Yes. And then now, why does that lead into our Justice Society movie? Because some of those characters, Hawkeye and Dr. Fate, are in. What, did I say Hawkeye? I did it that time. Hawkman. Right on. That's so funny.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. All right. So here's the dealio. So let's give the premise of the film. For those who may not have seen the Justice League World War II animated DC film.
Justice Society.
What did I say?
You said Justice League. There is a difference.
There is a difference. What's the difference between Justice League and Justice Society? A characters versus B characters?
Well, no, not at all. Justice Society was introduced first. It was back in like 1930s, 1940s, World War II era. And they are considered more the Silver Age characters. But of course, today, they're on a different Earth because it's all in what you love, the multiverse. So and look at Steven just cringe.
Bite my lip.
We're gonna talk the multiverse today, and he's gonna hate it.
It's not too bad. In all fairness, it's not too bad.
I
But
tricked you.
you did trick me.
It's DC. You should have known better.
Right.
Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
No. I was just saying. So with Justice Society, this takes place World War II time frame.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, cool. We're going, we're doing a story in World War II, and the film opens up, I'm thinking, oh, hey, cool. It's going to be a little World War II, superhero film.
It opened up actually present time with Barry Allen Flash.
I think when it did the opening credits, it made me think the way they did opening credits.
Yeah, the opening credits, it's World War II. But when we get like the first scene of the film, it's
right after
Barry
the
Allen.
things. It's like, yeah. And I was like, when that happened, we get Barry and Iris. They're doing a picnic and all. And they kept Iris as an African-American woman, like straight out of the TV show, which I thought I don't have any issues. I thought that was cool. A cool connect. And then I'm like, well, wait a minute. This is present day. What? I'm like, oh, Mike tricked me. This is going to be some time jump thing. It's going to be similar to my brain went immediately to Flashpoint. Like, we're going to do another Flashpoint.
Actually, and the oh gosh. Oh, the Flash thing. Anyway, it's mentioned in here, so yeah. So there's this battle along with Superman. They happen to be in Metropolis. Flash and Iris having a picnic. I assume they're probably in Central Park, a type place. Not that it's Central Park, but Metropolis. That's what I was trying to remember.
Oh yeah. They mentioned Speed Force.
Mentioned. Mm-hmm. It's a predominant feature in here. Actually.
Yeah.
So, go ahead, sorry.
And then all of a sudden he's trying to say Brainiac is attacking, Superman's attacking Brainiac or defending against Brainiac. Brainiac's doing all this. 96% probability of success. I'm like, that was kind of boring. I'm like, stop doing stats while you're doing it. That's annoying kind of a thing. But anyway, he shoots a bullet, a kryptonite bullet. The Flash sees it. Pushes, you could tell I thought they did a nice job of showing him push himself to run faster to catch that bullet.
So I got a question. So when Brainiac started going through his odds, did you look at the TV and go, never tell me the odds?
No, but that's good.
I gotta get a Star Wars reference in some way.
Right. That's a good one. I like that. Oh gosh. We should do we could have done our review and added that in there, watching the movie and then interject, never tell me the odds. Do memes inside movies. Wouldn't that be funny? That'd be fun. That's a lot of work. Never mind. I don't have that kind of time. So and then all of a sudden he's in the Speed Force and I'm like, oh, Speed Force action. Oh, he's going back in time. Okay.
He doesn't know what's happening at all.
He doesn't. And I thought that was interesting.
This is kind of an introduction to the Justice League. Now, this is a multiverse.
Justice League or Justice Society?
It's an introduction to the Justice League because
at the end it does. That's right.
Because Superman and Flash, this is according to this story. I mean, this isn't, comic book accurate, but according to this story, this is the first time the two of them team up together. Mm-hmm. There is no team ups. The Flash has never heard of these heroes getting together and working as a team. Mm-hmm. So yeah, this is kind of an introduction to the Justice League is what this is in a way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, go on. Sorry.
So he's in the Speed Force and all of a sudden, guess who's there? Whose voice are we hearing? Dr. Fate.
Yes.
Because he says, follow my voice.
Follow my voice. Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, Dr. Fate is more powerful than I thought, kind of a thing. Because he was inside the Speed Force to a certain degree, I guess.
Yep.
I'm like, dude, that's why I was curious about who Dr. Fate was. That's why I had that question for you.
It's interesting that Dr. Fate could somehow interject himself into the Speed Force too, because I thought only speedsters could do that. I didn't think any other characters could, granted, it's not like he was in the Speed Force, I mean, he wasn't running with Barry, but somehow he interjected himself into it.
Right.
Voice. So that's pretty interesting. And
right.
Yeah, I would have to agree. That's probably shows how powerful he is.
And not only that, because I thought we were going back in time. Lo and behold, we're you find out, wait, this isn't my past. This is, kind of a thing. I'm like, crap, we're in a multiverse.
Now we don't find that out for quite a while.
We don't. No, but
he's in his own past. He believes he's in his own past.
I thought he was for a while.
They believe that he is in his own past too.
Yeah, because he kept calling him Future Boy.
Right.
I thought that was kind of funny.
Boy. And there were times where he would say, I could tell you what's going to happen here. And they're like, no.
Right.
You know what that can do to the time continuum? And he goes, yeah, I've seen that movie.
Yep. Hey, give me just about 5 seconds. Hang on.
All right. And I think he was referring to Back to the Future when he said that. So there's some, slight Back to the Future references in this movie that I really enjoyed.
Matt Mercer is in.
Sorry.
What were you saying, Megan?
I said Matt Mercer is in that.
I saw that. I did. Matt Mercer is the guy who does the oh my goodness, the D&D thing with all the voice actors. I can't think of all of a sudden. Critical Role. Yes.
I have no idea what this is.
So Critical Role is
dark.
No, that's okay. Critical Role is a YouTube channel. I don't know how they're connected with Geek and Sundry. I know there is some connection, but
them.
What'd you say, Megan?
I think they sponsor them or something.
Maybe, yeah. But it's like doing Dungeons and Dragons. They do these huge. I mean, we're talking 3-4 hour sessions. On a regular basis, and he's got all these voice actors, and Matt Mercer is kind of like the dungeon master. He's the one kind of telling the story, leading the campaign, and they've got an incredible studio now. They get millions of views, and it's really kind of funny, but it is, if you've ever been curious about what a D&D campaign can look like. I mean, this is their spin on it and stuff like that. That's what this is. And the isn't the Amazon show Vox Machina really is kind of the cartoon kind of a situation on that? Uh-oh. Angie's like, bring me in.
Oh my gosh. I love Critical Role.
Okay, so do it better justice than I have. My son Jack loves Critical Role.
Love Critical Role.
And I think also my son, my oldest Josh does too. No, Josh was the one who introduced. So all right, give us the lowdown.
Okay, so I'm totally gonna nerd out here. Forgive me in advance.
All right, you've got 2 minutes. Go.
Okay. So. Critical Role started on Geek and Sundry because Matt Mercer and the people that are playing in Critical Role started out just doing it at Matt's home. Well, then Felicia Day, who works with Geek and Sundry, invited them onto the show. They wanted to do like a D&D video spot or whatever you want to call it. And so they asked them to come on. So they started with Geek and Sundry, and then they got so big that they wanted to go into a different direction. So they started their own thing and moved away from Geek and Sundry. So now it's just Critical Role right now. So they're their own company right now. But so they are really awesome. And Vox Machina, the anime show that you see on Amazon, that was their very first campaign. And then when I started watching, it was the next campaign, which is Mighty Nine. So yeah.
Which is 99?
Mighty Nine.
Mighty Nine. That's the newest though, right?
No, that's the one they just finished, and they're on campaign 3.
That's
which is
right.
like a whole nother thing, but I'm not watching that. So
Yeah. But they get like millions of views, and the voice actors are in there, kind of a thing. But Matt Mercer's the guy who leads it, does voices too. I mean, he's very talented. They're all really talented. They're all voice actors.
He
and stuff.
is really like the god of D&D DMing.
Has Sam Witwer ever been on this?
That's a good question. I don't know.
He's the voice of Darth Maul.
Yeah, I don't.
I think it's WIT. I don't know.
WHITMER.
Yeah.
WHIT
MER.
Yeah.
Whitmer.
I don't know if he's been on it or not.
That sounds like something Sam would do. And
they might have done like one of their one-offs whenever they were taking breaks between the campaigns. Like right now, they're doing a mini series in between taking breaks from their season 3. But they've had all kinds of guests on there.
I don't know the names of the other actors, and part of me wondered when I saw Matt Mercer's name in the credits for the film. I was like, I wonder if some of these others. I wonder if some of these others were were in the show were from
probably
from
if you've seen the names Sam Riegel, Laura Bailey, Travis Willingham. Those are some of the actors that play in the session.
Gotcha.
And ironically, one of them, Ashley Johnson, started off on Growing Pains and has played like Annie and all this kind of stuff. She plays with them.
Cool.
So,
cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Angie. Thank you. Very cool. So, he's in there. Matt Mercer was in there, and great voice actor. So I guess the point being is there's some great actors in this DC animated film.
Yes. I think this is a really good film. I enjoy this quite a bit.
Yeah, it was worth a watch. I didn't know at first, at the beginning, because I got frustrated with Brainiac. I was like, oh.
See, I like Brainiac. I think he's cool.
Yeah, he's fine. I've seen him done better, much more betterer in other stuff. I'm drinking now. I need my caffeine drink for the morning. So I just threw that in there.
Okay, so we're gonna rate this thing. We're 48 minutes into the show and we haven't even rated it.
We haven't even rated it. Well, I just got into it because of the whole Shazam. Yeah, let's rate it. Let's do this.
What are we using as our scale?
Dr. Fate helmets.
Okay, sounds good. Although he's not as prominent in the movie as I'd like.
No, he's not. But I do want to talk about his character. So,
and I like Dr. Fate helmet, so we'll go with it.
All right. Okay. I give this a 7.5 out of 10 Dr. Fate helmets. I enjoyed the film. I'm glad I watched it. I appreciate that. Thank you. So recommending it. It was an enjoyable film. Excellent. So that was good. So it was a good film. It's animation. The animation was done for the most part pretty good. There were some great details, like when they were doing their picnic, they had a filter on to kind of seem like the leaves were on their clothes and stuff like that. The light was shining through the leaves on their clothes. Yeah, there was stuff like that. Then there was poopy animation kind of a thing. Some things you do well and some things you don't. I get it. You're on a budget. So, but it wasn't anything that made it a bad film at all. Right. It was quite enjoyable. It was a good story. Yes, it was multiverse. But it made sense for the film.
And that's exactly what I told you too. I told you.
Yes, you did.
I did warn you that this is a multiverse story.
Yes.
But it played into the plot of the film.
It did. And it was a worthy way of doing the story, if that makes sense.
The multiverse can be done well.
Yes, you're right. You were right. Okay, you're right. Multiverse can be done well.
What was that? What did you say?
You were right, Mr. Mike. You were right, Mr. Mike.
All right. With that said, I'm going to give this an 8 Dr. Fate helmets. I think this is a fun ride. It's an enjoyable film. It's a decent multiverse story. There are a couple things I think could have been better. I would have liked to seen more of Dr. Fate in it. He was in and out quickly, so that was one downfall I give it. Second downfall I give it is no Batman. They need Batman. There is a Batman in the Justice Society also.
Yeah, right.
And it appeared that there was no Batman in their universe.
Yeah. One of the things about the Dr. Fate character in this film is they really don't explain who he is or what's going on with his character.
No, they just kind of throw him in. He's there, and then he's gone.
Yeah, he's gone. He's talking to himself. He's crazy, kind of a thing. His helmet is there off to the side. But he wasn't even using his helmet. So he still had powers outside of his helmet.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. I mean, well, of course, we don't see him when he's talking to Barry. So I assume he doesn't have the helmet on.
Right. So
you don't really know.
You don't. And that was one of the drawbacks of this film is you introduce a character, but you don't really give much else. And I guess
maybe that's a backdoor introduction to Dr. Fate, and we'll see more of him later throughout the DC animated universe.
Oh, okay. Sure. Now, yeah, because then the question is based upon what you read in the DK book, the dictionary, the DC dictionary is published by DK. That's why I said that, everybody. Sorry. It's the older one. It's the uncle, or
the great uncle.
Yeah, because he seemed much older, much more frail.
But that makes sense because it's Justice Society and it's World War II.
And it's World War II. Yes.
Right. Where the current one would be more of Barry's version of Dr. Fate.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that works. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. I liked it. His character did move the plot along.
Yes.
Which was good.
Oh, wait. Does that make him the MacGuffin?
I think so. I think he was the MacGuffin because they had to go in. They had to go in to him. They had to break into this facility to get him. So yeah, he was the MacGuffin.
Wow.
Yeah. Now that you say that, yes, he was.
It didn't strike me till you said that, and I was like, "Oh, wait a minute! That kind of makes him the MacGuffin of the film."
Yep.
And I hadn't even really put that together when I was watching it. So.
I didn't either till you just said it. Is that the MacGuffin?
Yeah.
Yep. He's the MacGuffin.
Interesting. What'd you think of Wonder Woman?
Oh, at first I had mixed feelings about Wonder Woman.
She's a little off-putting at first, isn't she?
She was very, and I understand the character, and once I figured it out, I'm like, okay, I can go with that. A Wonder Woman who is very strong-headed, very bold, very, again, another character I think that's driven by a moral code more than anything else. That moral code is what matters, and that, hey, we're in a war, and we have to win this war, and we have to do this war, whatever it takes, kind of a thing.
And that is her full focus in the movie too.
It is, and I did enjoy how they put that focus over her relationship with Steve
Rogers, or
no, Trevor, right?
He's got
Steve Trevor.
Let's do it with DC and first name.
But I thought they made that a great plot point. And
Clark Kent, Steve Trevor,
right? Captain America, Steve Rogers. Yeah. So
I get those two mixed up. I get the names mixed up.
Yeah, it's okay. Right. Now here's what I want to say about this plot point, because it was very good. The whole thing, she had this moral code that she put above everything else, even her relationship with Steve Trevor. And the way they play that out in the film, because spoiler alert, he dies, and she's like, I made the wrong decision. My love for him should have outweighed this drive about the war.
Now,
and use that to teach Barry Allen, because Dr. Fate had said, hey, you've got one more thing to learn.
Right.
And I thought that was great storytelling because then it brought you back to Barry Allen's conversation with Iris.
Right, because Iris is annoyed with him because Barry is scatterminded. He's frantic and
he's a scatterbrain
at once. And Megan, check the chat. Anyway, that threw me off. Anyway, he's scatterbrained, and and he's all the time he's thinking about quote unquote his job, his superhero job, and he's not focusing on their relationship, and that's what she's frustrated with. And then we kind of get the second the minor plot to this film, which is Wonder Woman's relationship to Steve, and then Barry's relationship to Iris, which was good. It was a nice little underlying plot.
I thought that was really good.
I liked how Steve proposes to Wonder Woman, and Barry's going, "Is this really happening right in front of me?" And they're all like, "Yeah, this happens every day."
Yeah, right.
We find out that he proposes every day.
Yeah.
And she turns him down every day, or does not give him a response. One of the two.
Yep. Yeah. So that was good storytelling, overarching through the whole movie, and I enjoyed that. That was one of the things why I rated this higher. That said, this is an enjoyable movie. This is not just animation of kick, pow, bam, boom. DC animated film. It was a film with heart and thought behind the plot and how they would twist, turn things and weave. It was a great tapestry of a story.
And we get nice kicking Nazis' butts and, the whole World War II thing, which is Justice Society. Right. That's kind of their prime area is World War II and fighting against Nazis and Hitler and stuff like that. So
yeah.
I enjoyed that aspect of it. I liked that. I liked how they showed them as a team and how Barry learns from them. Hey, I can take this back and use it. At this point in his time, he thinks it's his, he's in his past. But as we find out, he's actually in an alternate or in one of the multiverse universes is where he's at. He's not actually in his own time.
Yeah. You're going to correct me here, but I always thought that Barry Allen was all about time travel back and forth because of the Speed Force. But this introduced, no, he's multiverse.
Well, primarily it usually is. This was, I don't know, this was kind of new to me.
Okay.
But then again, we might see that in the upcoming Flash movie too.
Good point.
Yeah,
that's right.
I think Michael Keaton's Batman is an alternate, or is a different universe than what our current Justice League is. So yeah, we might be seeing in this film kind of what we're going to see, sorta, in the Flash film coming up. I didn't think about that till you just said that.
See, everybody, that's why we have these virtual coffee table discussions, and we try to save it for the podcast because we have fun moments like that.
Yeah, that's cool.
And all. My brain went to, wouldn't it be cool at the end of the Flash movie that we see Bruce Wayne, 1989, Bruce Wayne, Michael Keaton, interviewing Terry McGinnis for a job that would lead into Batman Beyond.
Any way we can get Batman Beyond into the DCEU, I am all for it.
And I would love Michael Keaton to be that Batman.
Oh, he has to be. If you're going to do that, he has to be that Batman. Just like,
no, he would.
Oh, heck yeah. Well, he's signed on for 3 films, so
Did he?
Yeah, he signed on for 3 DC films.
Oh yeah, Batman Beyond's one of them.
Well, they're saying Batgirl is going to be the next one, which now, okay. We got to get into some. We got to jump back into the news a little bit. So, in this week, I'm hearing rumors, because I haven't heard anything official, but I'm hearing rumors that the new president of DC or whatever.
Oh, Warner Brothers, the new Discovery Warner Media.
Right. The new Discovery Warner Media, however that's all called. I don't know what the heck they're
Right.
calling that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, he has stated, and I think we talked about this in our DC corporate shakeup episode, but he has stated that they are not utilizing DC's strongest character, which would be Superman, and he's not happy about it.
Yeah,
and he wants something done with Superman. So I want to see what I want to see, and I'm hoping he wants to see is Henry Cavill return, because I'm sorry, I think Henry Cavill is their best Superman since Christopher Reeve. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
He looks the part. He
nothing bad against Brandon Routh.
No, I think Brandon Routh
he did fine with what they had. Mm-hmm.
And just like the guy that's doing the Superman and Lois thing, he's done good. He just needs to shave.
Right.
He's done good. But yes, I like Dean Cain too.
Dean Cain was okay. Mm-hmm.
Dean Cain was okay. He, I wasn't a huge fan of Lois and Clark. Angie's asking Dean Cain. No, I'm not talking about Dean Cain. Dean Cain was Lois and Clark, and there's a new one called Superman and Lois or something. And he's been in the whole.
He was in the Arrowverse thing,
right? Arrowverse, Berlantiverse. He was the one that was introduced in there, and he's done okay. But I think that, Henry Cavill just embodies the Superman character. I really, really like him, and most of all, I want Superman versus Black Adam. Let's do it. Let's make
that would be awesome.
Captain Picard says, "Make it so."
So you're gonna have to get a soundbite of that.
And the Emperor is going, do it now.
Do it. Right. My Henry Cavill is my favorite Superman. Oh yeah, Tom Welling in Smallville. Yeah. He did a great job too.
I have to agree with Angie there. Tom Welling was fantastic, except he never really was Superman. He was just always Clark Kent. Because the original creators of Smallville had a rule: no flights, no tights, which I hated that rule. Someone should have punched them in the face.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's a dumb rule. Break that rule. And they did start to break it at the end. He
Tyler Hoechlin, by the way, is the actor.
Okay, you're right. Tyler.
Arrowverse.
Yep.
Oh, excellent. Thank you, Megan. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. Yep. And so we digressed, everybody. See, we had a squirrel moment. Woo!
Well, I think that was important to interject.
But it was important to the whole thing. So yeah. So what did you like best about the Justice Society World War II film? And you better not say Brainiac.
Well, there's Brainiac in his statistics, of course. No. Matt's not watching, is he? Otherwise, I'd say Reva. Anyway, I have to say I love the team up between the Flashes. We got the Jay Garrick Flash and the Barry Allen.
Nice. Yes.
I love Flashes are some of my all-time favorite DC characters.
Mm-hmm.
Next to Batman, of course. But I absolutely love the Flash character, and I love the Jay Garrick character, and I think Jay Garrick is an awesome mentor to Barry Allen, and we kind of got that in this film.
I like how they learned off each other. We can do that.
Yes.
Each one of them said that at some point,
right? Because there were things that Barry could do that Jay didn't know, and then there were things that Jay has been doing and Barry didn't know. Like the whole they can phase through walls. He's like, you can do that, and then Jay teaches him how to do it. I thought that was really cool. I enjoyed that.
Yeah,
and I love the line when they ask Barry who he is, and he goes, "Well, I'm the Flash," and then she goes, "Well, we already got one of them."
Right.
I thought that was great.
Yep. Yep. I will say my favorite part really was the how they did the storytelling that I already mentioned before, was the whole thing about the tying it back to the beginning about his relationship with Iris, and using the comedy of Steve Trevor proposing every day. And
Steve really was a very prominent character in this film also. I was kind of surprised at that, because I mean, he was part of the Justice Society, and he's not a superhero at all.
No, and they mentioned that.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really good. He goes, "I'm still doing whatever I can."
Right.
Kind of a thing. And it was good. And he was instrumental in some of the battles too.
And I love how they portray him as a military hero. I think that's cool, and very, very patriotic, very, American. I love it. That's fantastic. He was a great character. I really enjoyed him a lot.
One of the things I do want to, that kept me from scoring a little bit higher, was the whole Aquaman storyline, because at first I thought it was intriguing. I was like, great, it's mind control again. Now, it's this whole mind control of Aquaman. And then they had this big battle. Then the big Leviathans come out. And then all of a sudden he wakes up and they just go back to sea. There's no discussion afterwards. There's no debrief of, I was mind controlled, I'm so sorry. Other than, where'd that bad guy go that was doing the, his right-hand man? He just totally disappeared. I'm like,
I didn't know who that guy was either.
I didn't know who he was.
I still don't know who he was. I don't quite understand him. He just came out of the blue, and it's like, who is this guy, and how is he able to control Aquaman?
Right.
They okay. I got to admit, the Aquaman, the portion of it is kind of weak, and they just pull that from Injustice, because Injustice, they use the exact same storyline. Well, I can't say exact, because Injustice, Aquaman and Wonder Woman actually have a fling, and and then Mera, Aquaman's wife, who's the queen of the Seven Trees.
Well, that's not Injustice. That was Flashpoint.
No, it's Injustice.
Is it Injustice too? I know with Flashpoint it was there where they had a fling.
Maybe it was Flashpoint.
I don't know.
Well, they have. Yeah, okay. I guess you're right. It's Flashpoint. See, now I'm getting them confused.
Right.
I think it has been used in Injustice too. Anyway, in one of them, they have a fling. Mera finds out, and then Mera and Wonder Woman get into a battle. Wonder Woman kills Mera, which puts all of Atlantean at war against the Amazons. So they kind of just pulled that story. Granted, it wasn't war against the Amazons this time. It was just war against all of Earth, land dwellers, basically. Against,
right.
Yeah. So I will give you that. That was weak. So
it was. I was like, they could have taken that part out. I mean, I understand you're probably trying to make the movie a little bit longer, and I get it, kind of a thing, but c'est la vie.
All right. What else? What else should we cover on this? Go ahead.
I was just going to say, is it worth watching? Yes. Is it worth buying on Blu-ray? I don't know. If you've got HBO Max, you should watch it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you should watch it.
I mean, it all depends on how hardcore DC fan you are. If you're a hardcore DC fan, I'd say put this in your collection. I think well worth it. It's not Flashpoint. I still think Flashpoint's the best. I think that is one of the best storylines in all of DC. But it ranks pretty high up there. It's a good story. It is a
good story.
It's fun. Good secondary plot point, I think. Overall I enjoyed it.
I would call it a hidden gem, because when you see it, you're like, oh, Justice Society, World War II. Yeah, all right, whatever, kind of a thing. But,
well, see, I like the Justice Society, so I am a fan of the Justice Society.
Mm-hmm.
And I said I'm a fan of Jay Garrick Flash.
Yeah, well, the only reason I knew about it was because you told me. I said, hey, I really would like to do this. I'm like, oh, okay, sure. Okay. I was pleasantly surprised because, I didn't hear anything about it. Okay, Justice Society.
No hype for this movie at all.
No, there wasn't. And it actually is a good story.
Yeah.
It really is.
It came out
overall.
And I had known it come out, but I forgot about it. It was just one of those ones. I saw a blip about it and I was like, oh, I need to check that out. And then just completely forgot about it. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't until last week when we were like, okay, we need a subject for this week. And I was like, hey, wait a minute. Justice Society's on HBO Max. Let's check it out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there was just no hype at all for this film. And I think that does it injustice, Injustice. See what I did there?
But a bump. Nice one.
Anyway, yeah, I think it's well worth a watch. Let's put it that way.
Agreed. Yep. It's worth seeing. Thank you. I appreciate it. Introducing, saying, hey, let's do this. So yeah, agreed.
And I like you get kind of an introduction to Justice League. You get an introduction to the Speed Force. We're introduced to Dr. Fate. Unfortunately, just not enough of Dr. Fate
to really know who he was.
Right. I love the characters that are in the Justice Society, although I think Batman should have been there. Oh, I thought Our Man was a kind of a hidden gem in this too.
Yes.
Because I've always known who Our Man was, but I didn't know a lot about him. And I started to learn more about him in the DC show. Help me here. Stargirl. I think it's Stargirl.
I never watched Stargirl, so I don't know. Was it Stargirl?
I think it's Stargirl.
Oh, the penguins fell off the iceberg, everybody.
One of the shows.
Yeah, Stargirl.
I never watched it, so.
Stargirl is actually a pretty decent series. I like it. But Our Man is introduced in there, and in a way, he's kind of a strange character because he only has his powers for 1 hour. That's why he's Our Man. But I thought they used him really well in the film. I really liked him a lot in here. So he's kind of a hidden gem in this film. So yeah,
right on.
Decent characters. So
they did. They sure did. It was good. All right, everybody.
No Batman.
Yeah, that's okay. It was all right without Batman. We don't need Batman in everything.
Yes, we do.
I knew you were going to say that.
I'm Batman.
Right. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for joining us. If you want to know more about Two Geeks and a Microphone, please check out our website, twogeeksmike.com, twogeeksmike.com. Also, I want to encourage you that if you want to check out our Ko-fi page, that is where we have our kind of like our own little thing if you want to support us, and we're trying to do some special stuff for that. We're going to have a new episode of our sci-fi show coming up. We're doing Planet of the Apes, and you see that pretty soon. For those that support us, you get access to that.
Paws off me, you damn dirty ape.
There's a little clue into what's going to happen. But anyway, it just helps support us in order to really, we're just paying for all the expenses for the podcast. So it does help us do that if you're enjoying it. So we do thank you for that. Also, we've got our Facebook page. We have a lot of interaction on our Facebook page. Please check that out. Mike, you're doing a fabulous job with that, by the way.
Thank you, sir.
And you're doing really good. I enjoy going and seeing the memes that you're putting up there, and then the discussion of new stuff, geekdom stuff that's coming out. I really like.
I did a trailer for Black Adam too. If anyone's in,
you did, yep. You did. So it's a great spot to find that. So that's probably where we're most active as far as interacting with us is on there. And then, but if you want to ask us a question or anything like that, we do have our email address, which is show@twogeeksmike.com, twogeeksmike.com. So feel free to email us. And with that, Mike, anything else that I may have missed?
You can get our merch also.
Oh yeah.
Go to our website, you can get to our merch page, which we have t-shirts, mugs. I wish we had hats. Gosh, I wish we had hats, but oh well.
Yeah, hats. You got to get that crazy little digitized thing with your logos and stuff. That
I just haven't found a good way to get us a hat. So
yeah, it's pretty sensitive on those. Oh yeah, our Discord channel for anybody, and thank you, Angie. Angie's saying don't forget Discord. For those who are part of our community, if anytime you support us, you automatically get access to our Discord page. And Discord page is where you can talk to us, ask questions. We do give priority to those questions because you are already supporting us. So we don't do YouTube super chat realistically, but this is a better way much more better way of doing it, because you don't have to give money every time you ask a question. If you support us at $2 or $5 or $10 or whatever, every tier you get access to the Discord and all. So yeah.
I don't know how YouTube's super chat works anyway. So
there are rules behind everything else, but yeah, that's the YouTube. Yeah.
Be careful. I'm not going to. Be careful. We are on YouTube, so
we are, but we're not. Yeah.
I think you do see the super chat, because I know Jimmy and Jason of Rebel Force Radio, they see the super chat.
Do they? But I mean, like with us using Restream.
Oh, I have no clue. I don't know. I don't know how that works. But anyway. All right. Anything else?
Nope.
All right. With that said, over and out. And truth, justice, and the American way. Thank you for joining us today on the Two Geeks and a Microphone podcast. Tune in next week when we will have more news and reviews. Until then, may the force be with you.